Some say we arrived because the world knows our name. Now you know that was never the destination. From the court to the culture, we own the moment. We're not here to chase greatness. We're here to claim it. Our ambitions don't fit into headlines or highlight reels. Our road games sound like home games because our fans don't ask for permission to dominate. So if you thought we arrived,
2 more for Boston.
Now you know. We're not here for the moment. We're here for the takeover.
The Indiana Fever aren't just stepping into the spotlight, they're setting it on fire. After a season of taking hits, the franchise has fired back with a bold marketing campaign that's shaking the foundations of the WNBA. Never and Now You Know isn't just a rebrand, it's a battle cry. It's a declaration of war on the league's old guard, the media skeptics, and anyone who ever doubted Caitlin Clark's seismic impact.
I think the one thing that people should know about the Fever is that we're young, we're vibrant, we have the personality in which we want to win. We know that we've come a long way regarding our culture, and I think for us, we want to be that team that people don't know about, that has no filters, no anything. We kind of are who we are, and at the end of the day, we're going to stick by each other. So,
with unapologetic swagger, the Fever are flipping the script. No more humility, no more waiting, just straight up dominance. If the WNBA wants to keep riding this wave of record ratings and sold out arenas, it's time to face the truth. Indiana isn't just a team, they're the main event. This isn't just hype, it's a masterclass in turning backlash into fuel. The Fever are weaponizing every shot taken at Clark and her fans over the past year. From bandwagon fans to overrated hype, Indiana is clapping back, and they've got the receipts.
On the south side, the Back Nine Golf Complex, an extravaganza beyond extravaganza. This is the Indiana Fever for Change golf outing presented by Hype Branded Solutions, all in the name of raising money.
45% of the league's broadcast value. Arena upgrades just to accommodate their games. A fan base so relentless, it's turning road games into home crowds. The message is clear. The Fever built this momentum, and now they're claiming every bit of the credit. For a league that spent years begging for attention, the irony is rich. The same voices that mocked Clark's arrival are now watching her team rewrite the WNBA's playbook in real time.
Afternoon. And a lineup change coming here for Indiana. Your start opened up 0-4 from the floor. Clark, good feed inside. It's Samuels. Finds Allen screen, misses on a 3-ball. The Mystics are 0 for 6 here in the early going. Working on Van Loo. Oh, Clark, pretty step back, hits a 3.
But let's be clear, this isn't just a middle finger to the haters. It's a calculated power move. By staking their claim as the WNBA's new center of gravity, the Fever are forcing the league to face an uncomfortable truth. What happens when one team's stardom eclipses the rest? The answer could define the next decade of women's basketball. So buckle up. This isn't just a campaign, it's a cultural reset. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that button. Because the Fever are just getting started. How the Fever finally stopped playing nice. For months, the Indiana Fever moved like a sleeping giant, powerful but passive, taking hits without striking back. Critics trashed Caitlin Clark's game. Veterans wrote off her fans as clueless, casuals. Even the league hesitated to fully embrace the ratings boom she ignited. But that silence, it was just the calm before the storm.
We play basketball the right way. We love playing in front of our fans. We're building a championship-winning team. We're excited about it. We're excited about all the pieces that we've added, a great coaching staff, and we're fired up and working hard. And I think we play basketball the right way. And we give our fans a lot to cheer about, and also we love our teammates.
Through it all, the Fever stayed quiet, locked in on the court while the noise outside got deafening. But the Now You Know campaign isn't just a response, it's a roar. The lion isn't just awake, it's hungry. And every jab thrown at Indiana last season didn't weaken them, it guaranteed the reckoning. The campaign's genius lies in its simplicity. No vague platitudes, no forced unity, just cold, hard facts. The Fever dominate broadcasts, move merchandise, and pack arenas in cities that barely supported women's basketball just a year ago.
9 golf complex, an extravaganza beyond extravaganza. This is the Indiana Fever for Change golf outing presented by Hype Branded Solutions, all in the name of raising money to help children, the Pacers The Fever Foundation.
By spotlighting these truths, Indiana isn't just defending itself, it's exposing the hypocrisy of a league that rode Clark's stardom while allowing others to undermine it. The subtext is undeniable. The WNBA needed the Fever more than the Fever needed the WNBA, and now they're collecting on that debt.
It's okay. Burn.
Now you
know. This summer's biggest story.
Something I
Should've read that first.
Now you know.
This shift isn't just about marketing, it's a psychological gambit. For decades, women's sports were told to be grateful for scraps of attention. The Fever are rejecting that mentality, flat out.
Because our fans don't ask for permission to dominate. So if you thought we arrived,
2 more for Boston.
now you know. We're not here for the moment. We're here for the takeover.
Confidence isn't arrogance when you've earned it, and Indiana's stats, sales, and social media metrics prove they've earned every bit of this moment. The question now is whether the rest of the league will follow their lead or cling to outdated notions of sisterhood over stardom. One path grows the game, the other keeps it in the shadows.
Who doesn't want to play sold out crowds at home, and when you're away, you know, you have just a bunch of people that are wearing Fever jerseys. I think that's so important because you know that you always have a family and coming from the fans because they're always going to cheer you on.
Why road games sound like home. The Fever's boldest claim, our road games sound like home games, isn't just a slogan. It's a provocation. When Indiana steps into opposing arenas this season, they won't just face 5 players on the court. They'll face thousands of their own fans, drowning out the hometown cheers and turning hostility into an advantage. Their preseason debut in Dallas drew 13,000 fans, triple the Wings' average attendance. The math is simple. More Fever games on national TV means more fans nationwide. And those fans, they're not hiding in the shadows anymore.
I love the Fever leaning all the way into their popularity and not being ashamed of it or shy about it. And as someone who is boots on the ground, so to speak, at these arenas and witnessing what Caitlin brings and what we've seen at Fever games over last year and what we're expecting this year, I mean, this is the reality, that her fan base travels. Her fan base expands to whatever team she's a part of and the players on that team.
What makes this so explosive isn't just the bravado, it's the backlash. Traditionalists will call it divisive. Rivals will call it disrespectful. But the Fever aren't apologizing for their reach. Instead, they're doubling down, selling every game as a home game, printing t-shirts, and fully embracing their role as villains. In doing so, they're tapping into a truth the WNBA has long ignored. Rivalries sell. Passion, whether positive or negative, drives engagement, and nothing galvanizes a fan base like being told they don't belong. The league now faces a choice. It can chastise Indiana for breaking unwritten rules of modesty, or it can seize a golden opportunity. The Fever aren't stealing fans from other teams. They're creating new ones. If the WNBA smartens up, it'll realize that a rising tide lifts all boats. But first, it has to stop pretending the tide isn't coming. How the Fever weaponized their hate. Remember when pundits claimed Caitlin Clark's fans were draining the life out of the WNBA? Or when players mocked her supporters as unserious? The Fever haven't forgotten.
I'm good.
Honesty squared.
No. What's up?
Yeah!
Hello. Go that way? This is straight on. Okay. You want to check it in for me?
Their campaign flips every insult into armor, transforming bandwagon into movement and overrated into undeniable. This isn't just a clapback, it's alchemy. Indiana took the league's disdain and turned it into the foundation of their identity. The result? A fan base that wears criticism as a badge of honor.
Now you know. We're not here for the moment. We're here for the takeover.
The strategy mirrors how the Carolina Hurricanes embraced being called a bunch of jerks, owning the label until it became a rallying cry. But the Fever are taking it further. They're not just deflecting hate, they're monetizing it.
And into the offseason, so many within the WNBA ecosystem thought they could take shots. At Caitlin, at the fans, at the very people who transform.
Every t-shirt sold, every tweet dunking on detractors, every sold-out road game is a middle finger to the idea that new fans are a problem. And the numbers back them up. When your team drives nearly half the league's broadcast value, you set the rules.
NBA, your Indiana
Woo! Go Fever! Fear for change.
What do you need?
This is where the WNBA's learning curve gets steep. For years, the league preached patience and incremental growth. The Fever are proving that aggression works better. By refusing to shrink, they've given their fans permission to do the same. And that's a game changer. Because when casual viewers become diehards, and diehards become evangelists, the entire sport wins. is confidence really a crime? Not everyone's celebrating. The Fever's bravado has sparked a quiet backlash from corners of the WNBA that still equate humility with virtue. These voices argue that Indiana's swagger is bad for the game, that it undermines the league's collective spirit. But that argument crumbles under scrutiny. Since when does confidence threaten progress? Since when does star power dilute competition? The truth is, the Fever aren't breaking the WNBA. They're exposing its double standards. Consider the irony. The same league that begged for ESPN slots and corporate sponsors now hesitates when a team actually delivers those things. The Fever's crime isn't arrogance, it's success. And their real sin? Proving that individual brilliance and team success aren't mutually exclusive. Caitlin Clark's gravity creates open shots for teammates. Her fame funds roster upgrades. The problem the purists fear is the very thing that could elevate the entire league.
Just 5 of 19 find their way here offensively after this 2 for 11 starts. Smith open on the perimeter, and she cashes in on a 3. Here is Clark. She will launch and bury a 3. Now Clark looking to push. Cross-court pass. Pull.
The solution isn't to silence Indiana, it's to replicate them. Imagine if every team had the audacity to demand more, to market their stars unapologetically, to treat fans like partners, not interlopers. The Fever aren't the WNBA's problem. They're its prototype.
The Indiana Fever are back in the WNBA playoffs.
It's important to me because you don't just want to be competing in the regular season. Being in the postseason is something, especially us as competitors, the universities that we went to, always knowing that we're competing in March Madness, we're knowing we're competing in Final Fours. That's what we want on the professional level as well, so making it to the playoffs, being able to continue to chip away and continue to bring this franchise back to where it was.
Yeah, I think that we're hungry. I think our mentality is that we just want to get to the next play, next action. I think that we see ourselves being competitive 40 minutes. I think we've had a lot of experience on our belt this year to consider ourselves.
By the Fever's own spotlight, let's talk numbers. The Fever's preseason game against the Lynx drew 1.2 million viewers on ION. The following game barely hit half that. This isn't an anomaly, it's a pattern. Indiana's games consistently outperform league averages, often by staggering margins.
She's really good and savvy with the basketball in her hands and going.
The reason is no secret. People want to watch Caitlin Clark. But the Fever's new campaign takes that reality a step further. They're not just acknowledging their draw, they're wielding it like a weapon. This terrifies the status quo. For years, the WNBA distributed attention evenly, careful not to let any team overshadow the whole. The Fever are torching that playbook by embracing their role as the headline act. They're forcing networks, sponsors, and even opponents to confront an uncomfortable truth. Equity is noble, but economics favors stars. And right now, Indiana has the biggest one. The league's next move is critical. Double down on the Fever's momentum, and the WNBA could reach heights it's only dreamed of. Resist it, and risk alienating the very fans who've propelled its recent growth. The choice seems obvious, but in women's sports, progress is never that simple.
And even league voices take cheap shots without firing back. Those days are done. Nearly every single Indiana Fever game has been selected for national broadcast this season. They're selling out preseason games, 15,000 seats, gone in minutes. And now, with an elite head coach in Stephanie White and a fully upgraded championship-caliber roster surrounding the face of women's basketball, the Fever aren't just good, they're dangerous.
How hate fuels the Fever's fire. Every dynasty needs a villain. The 90s Bulls had the bad boy Pistons. The Warriors had LeBron's Cavs. Now, the Fever are crafting their own foil. Not just opposing teams, but the entire ecosystem that doubted them. Last season's slights weren't setbacks. They were kindling. And the Now You Know campaign, that's the match.
I'm highly competitive to make a run if we really want to.
The playoffs are definitely where we want to be. I think every single person on our roster would say that same thing, and the great thing about this organization is it has great championship pedigree, whether it's what people did in college and bringing a championship, or whether it's, you know, the past, like Tamika. Like, we see the championship trophy every single day when we walk into our locker room, and what she was able to build here and bring to this city. And I think you can also feel the buzz in the city about what we're going to be able to do. As long as we focus one game at a time, I think we'll be in a great spot.
This narrative isn't accidental. Indiana's marketing team knows conflict drives engagement. By painting their fans as outsiders, loud, unapologetic, and everywhere, they've given the league a storyline with built-in stakes. Every road game isn't just a contest, it's an invasion, and every opposing crowd's boos, just proof the Fever are winning.
We won't get this again. There's no saving. There's no conserving. You leave everything that you have out there on the floor.
The early returns are staggering. Watch camp footage, and you'll see a team already sharper than last year's squad. Rotations are tighter, communication is crisper, and even the defense, long a weakness for Indiana, is showing flashes of grit. Wide isn't just preparing the Fever to win, she's preparing them to dominate.
What made you want to take this job?
Well, first and foremost, it's home. I mean, this is a franchise and the Indiana Fever, Indiana Pacers, that's in my DNA. Grew up in Indiana, played in Indiana, played with the franchise, of course, a part of the franchise when we won the WNBA championship. And secondly, this young, exciting roster. You think about a generational player in Caitlin Clark, and back-to-back Rookie of the Years with Aliyah Boston. Kelsey Mitchell, I think, had the best year of her career. It's just an exciting roster. What an outstanding moment we have in women's basketball right now, and to come back and be a part of it.
This coaching edge matters more than any tweet or t-shirt. Because when the lights are brightest and the hate is loudest, X's and O's separate contenders from pretenders. And White's track record suggests she's building the former.
New Fever head coach Stephanie White returns to Indiana with one of the most legendary basketball resumes in the history of the sport. That begins with a decorated playing career with its roots right here in the Hoosier State. White set the IHSAA girls basketball scoring record, was named Indiana Miss Basketball in 1995, and USA Today...
Is this good for the WNBA? The answer is unequivocally yes, but not for the reasons you might think. The Fever's rise isn't just about ratings or revenue, though those help. It's about proving women's sports can handle the same scrutiny, passion, and polarization as men's. Rivalries, trash talk, villains. These aren't threats to the WNBA. They're the ingredients it's been missing.
The Indiana Fever are back in the WNBA playoffs.
It's important to me because you don't just want to be competing in the regular season. Being in the postseason is something, especially us as competitors, the universities that we went to, always knowing that we're competing in March Madness, and we're knowing we're competing in Final Fours. That's what we want on the professional level as well, so make it to the play.
By refusing to play nice, Indiana is giving the league a gift, stakes. Casual fans don't tune in for harmony, they tune in for conflict, for heroes and heels, for moments that feel larger than the game. The Fever understand this. The question is, does the rest of the W? One thing's certain, the old playbook is obsolete. The future is bold, brash, and unapologetic, and it starts in Indiana court now. Will it embrace the Fever's blueprint or resist it? Double down on their star power or dilute it? The smart play is obvious, but in women's basketball, smart hasn't always won.
Now you know. This summer's biggest story.
Something I forgot. Now you know.
Now you know.
One thing's certain, Indiana isn't waiting for permission. They've got arenas to fill, haters to silence, and a league to drag into its next era, kicking and screaming if necessary. The message is clear. Now you know. Like this breakdown? Agree or disagree? Sound off in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more unfiltered WNBA analysis.